Fate is a balance drawn in destiny's book. This is what Narad tells to Ashwapati when he asks the sage if the spirit is governed by the outward acts. And Narad says, fate is a balance drawn in destiny's book. Ours is a world of clashes and incertitude, a world of toil and endeavor, of sorrow and suffering, a battle on a perilous verge. We are always on the brink of danger. It is a haunt of ignorance. Our world is a haunt of ignorance. Our world is a nest of pain. There is a vast disguise that conceals the eternal bliss. Perhaps it is the disguise concealing the bliss meant for a certain purpose. But this is a world that has been chosen by our own souls. Once they were happy in the transcendental world, but then they grew conscious of the shadow cast by truth down below here. They became curious of the shadow, and out of that curiosity arose in them the spirit of adventure. They jumped into the abyss. We are subject to the harsh law of this inconscient world, of this inconscient creation. That is our own choice. Our souls plunged into the inconscience and accepted the law of suffering. That thus alone, by a long alchemic process, the suffering is removed. Here, life is constantly chased by death, and knowledge gives rise to ignorance. Truth is hounded by falsehood. Good is chased by evil. Does it mean that the force that came Savitri is also governed by these forces of this mortal world? Does it mean that the free and defeatless, unaffected spirit is governed by an outward world, the inner soul by the surface being, the transcendent? Is she governed here by the phenomenal? If Savitri is a divine incarnate, a mighty power that has come from the divine source, is she governed by fate? Is fate going to decide her future? Has she to bear the yoke of death and ignorance? Yes, she has to bear the yoke of death and ignorance, to remove it completely, forever, from the soul of the earth. And that is the only way by which things can be redeemed. This is Ashwapati's poser. If the spirit is governed, whether the spirit is governed by the outward world, that is Ashwapati's poser to Narad. And Narad answers that it is our choice which is important here. Even, he says that even in the smallest, minutest acts, even the stumblings are seen from above. The stumblings of the soul who has come here with a mission. Even his stumblings are seen from above. There is nothing random here, and the curve moves along its prefixed direction. There is a higher wisdom, and it disregards the ignorant prayer of the mortal. It does not care for the mortal's prayer because the curve has to move on its upward path. There is a higher mission, and it along its prefixed direction it must move on. There is a meaning and purpose in the actions and decisions of the ready soul. And this ready soul always gets the divine guidance and support and protection. All here can be changed when the divine soul identifies itself, its will, with the will of the Supreme. All here can change should the magician choose. What is necessary for us is to make our will one with the will of God. Even fate becomes a detailing and working of our future. Nature and soul and God come together and is achieved whatever has to be achieved in the case of the ready soul. When his will identifies itself with the will of the Supreme, that is what is willed in the march of evolutionary time. It is that which is established in that fate is a balance drawn in destiny's book. Wisdom lies in knowing your secret will.